The Apollo era gave us incredible looking homes which originated in Houston, Texas. Well, even the Mercury and Gemini era still house astronauts and their wives, and what you are seeing behind me, a typical 1960s dining room that I had just built for the new set of Vintage Retrospekt. But a bit more on that, and we will dig into some of the typical features of the Apollo era home and why it's so nostalgic. All coming up on the next Vintage Retrospekt. Hello everyone, this is Chad from Vintage Retrospekt, and oh my god, I'm finally back and here to show you what I have been up to with regards to what is behind me. Yes, you were looking at the brand new set of Vintage Retrospekt. In order to look the part of a spaceflight historian, maybe I should also live in that era as well with this glorious 1968 wood paneling dining room. This is the common room style you may be familiar with on every Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo TV and film ever, including The Right Stuff, Apollo 13, Astronaut's Wives Club, I Dream of Jeannie, From the Earth to the Moon, For All Mankind, and many more. But let me take you on a quick tour of some of the features of an Apollo home. So we're going to start with the typical dining room table, what you might see in an Apollo era home. So getting up in the morning for a typical astronaut family, this would be typical cereal bowls. People would eat their breakfast in before one of the Apollo rockets did lift off. So these were the exact bowls that cereal would be eaten out of. These are Tupperware bowls, and you know, for the 60s color scheme, pastel colors. So you've got your mint green, baby blue. Also the cups, they have Tupperware cups as well. So if they had to have orange juice, most notably Tang, because that was a big thing in the space program, where I think Tang meant good luck. Just let me know in the comments if that's not accurate. But again, the same pastel colors. Of course, it gets more nostalgic because this 1951 malt shake mixer it never really changed style in the 60s, so there wasn't much changes to the Hamilton Beach series malt shake mixers. And these malt shake mixers were used a ton here in the Space Coast because they had a bunch of drive-through restaurants. And this would be one of the exact mixers that would mix shakes for actual astronauts. So that's really cool to be able to have this in my own mock dining room here. Of course, we've got the Saturn V and the Titan. If you've watched I Dream of Jeannie, this might actually be, this might hit you hard because they actually have a Titan 2 on the show with the same wood paneling background and other rocks as well. So if that's not nostalgic overload, I don't know what is. And then this is just sort of a high-end napkin. It is reusable. A lot of the designs here that they use in the 1960s were derived of a space-age design, which technically started in the late 40s. But it did evolve a little bit into what's called a Googie style. So that's when you started having more of your diamond shapes and starburst. Not only shapes were really perfect, but they did have organic designs as well, such as this starburst right here. Move that closer to the camera. So each end isn't the same length and stuff like that, so it's really organic and hand drawn. On the wall here, you can see one of the starbursts that is showing up on the camera. I do have to move the camera a little bit to show the other things on this wall, so I'm going to cut away and readjust the camera. So we'll start here with, now the funny thing about this clock is this isn't the permanent clock. It is unfortunately on order and it's taking a long time to get here. So this modern spin on, I guess you could say this is a Googie style clock, because you got your, this is supposed to resemble 1960s TV. You kind of notice that it's not a perfect rectangle. I love Googie style because I love how curved it can get, but it can also have its hard shapes and angles. And of course, this is supposed to resemble what's called the starburst. And that actually goes back to Art Deco somewhere around the 1940s. I had just slightly evolved into not only this Apollo design, but later in the 60s into Googie style. So you will see starbursts in Googie style, and here are just some of the other starbursts on there. Of course, in that table that I showed you earlier, you probably saw some starburst design on the tablecloth as well. So yeah, other than that, this is my gift to all of you who've gotten me to over 100 subs. I appreciate you following me here, and there will always be cooler stuff on the horizon. But even if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so that others can see what kind of nostalgia I have preserved, just in case they're searching for these types of homes. And that will do it for today. Again, my name is Chad, and I will see you out on the launch pad.